Well, it's that time of year again. It's predictions time of year. For everything scary, I'm GMHaunts, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first ever Halloween 2022 predictions video. We are starting it off early this year, and I am so excited. So if you're a haunter or someone who considers themselves in the Halloween community, you probably know that November is infamously a sad month for people in the community, a sad month for haunters, because it's the time when all the companies close for the season. Spirit Halloween stores just closed. Party City gets off all their stuff. Home Depot stops selling their stuff. It all disappears, all what feels like in a moment's notice like that. Well, if you watch one of my recent videos, I just took a look at some upcoming events that us haunters have to look forward to that prove that you should not be sad about this time right now, because we have a lot to look forward to. Now, the things I took a look at in the video were Morris costumes in particular and the Halloween Party Expo. Now, if you don't know, the Halloween Party Expo is taking place in January this year, just over a month and a half away. And at the Party Expo, we will get to take a look at various haunter and Halloween communities at what they have for the 2022 season. Now, the biggest company that will be at the Party Expo this year is Morris Costumes, where infamously every year they reveal what animatronics they have for the upcoming season. Now, with Morris Costumes already starting to get back into the picture and starting to become the head of conversation once again, because as we're getting very close, I wanted to get my thoughts and predictions out there for what I believe Morris Costumes will be selling and what animatronics they'll come out with for the 2022 season. I have a lot of predictions, I have a lot of thoughts to what they might be planning compared to what they did last year, and I have some solid predictions that I wanted to share with you, and then we'll be able to look back at this and after January and see if any of my predictions were accurate. Now, I'm going to try to work this as a mini-series. I have a lot of different companies that I want to predict for the 2022 season, such as Spirit, Home Depot, obviously Morris Costumes, what I'm doing now, and a couple other ones. So I'm going to work this into a custom mini-series where every video I'm going to be talking about a different company and what I predict, and we're going to be kicking off with Morris Costumes because they're the first company that is on the calendar for the haunter, for all the haunter community, and they're the next thing we're going to talk about, and they're already getting back into the picture of discussion among haunters. So, let's kick off my 2022 Halloween predictions with Morris Costumes. So I'm going to start off my Morris Costumes 2022 predictions quite small, and I mean that quite literally, because I'm going to be starting it off talking about my predictions for that we will see a brand new 3-foot greeter for the Morris Costumes 2022 season. So if you turn the clock back, if you think back to last year, the 2021 season, obviously Morris Costumes released their line of 3-foot greeters. They had the witch, they had the wind-up doll, and they had the twitching scarecrow that were all 3-foot greeters. Obviously not the biggest of animatronics, but they did feature some movement. Some had some moving mouths, they had LED eyes, their arms moved back and forth. And they were really quite cool. The haunter community really enjoyed them. They had a lot of detail in them, if I say so myself. The audio on them was pretty good. My favorite probably was the twitching scarecrow, because I think he had a really unique look to him. And overall, they were really well designed. They were manufactured by SVI, Seasonal Visions International, and they were a really cool new line of small animatronics. I always love seeing a company trying to start up a new kind of branch of their decorations, so I like seeing a whole lineup of 3-foot greeters. Now, that being said, after I saw the community so much enjoyed the greeters, and probably they did sell well and they looked really good, I got to thinking Morris Costumes should, and most likely, or maybe not, maybe this is just one of my predictions, will release a new 3-foot greeter for the 2022 season to expand that line and possibly make even more than one. So my prediction here is that we will see a skeleton 3-foot greeter released for the 2022 Morris Costume season. Now, obviously, like I just mentioned, we saw the wind-up doll greeter, we saw the witch, and we saw the scarecrow. Now, if they are going to release a brand new greeter for the 2022 season, I was really thinking, what would be the character that Morris Costumes and SVI would create? And the first thing I came up with was a skeleton. Now, obviously, a witch is a generic Halloween thing, a doll is a generic Halloween thing, and a scarecrow is a generic Halloween idea. And I feel like a skeleton is about the most basic and generic you can get, and I think that fits really well in this kind of classic Halloween greeter set that Morris Costumes are trying to build for the 2021 season. So I believe that if we do see an addition to the set of the 3-foot greeters, I believe that it'll be a skeleton, possibly in a skeleton outfit, like meant to be a trick-or-treater in a skeleton outfit, possibly holding a candy bowl with some candy in it. If not, it would just be meant to be an actual skeleton, maybe with moving arms, maybe with LED eyes, maybe with a moving mouth. But honestly, I do believe that we would see some sort of skeleton, and I think that would be a really, really nice addition because it would fit really well with the rest of the characters we saw last year. Now, I also was thinking maybe it's possible we see more than one addition to the Morris Costumes 3-foot greeter lineup. Now, I also was thinking about the idea of a possible Phantom greeter, because a Phantom is another generic classic Halloween idea. So is it possible we see a Phantom also released as a 3-foot greeter for the 2022 season? Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I think, if anything, I would bet on a skeleton, because if Morris was planning to add to that 3-foot greeter lineup, I think a skeleton would by far be the best addition, and a Phantom maybe would also work, but I feel like a skeleton might even work a little bit better, and that's just my prediction if we were to see another 3-foot greeter. Let's take a look at my next prediction for the Morris Costumes 2022 season. So this next prediction branches off and stems off from the release of Cellar Dweller for the 2021 season. So if you remember, Cellar Dweller was a 7-foot zombie swamp creature animatronic, moving arms, moving mouth, LED eyes. Pretty nice audio. I know there was some criticism about it, but I actually enjoyed the audio, and I think a really unique idea and a really unique execution, because we really don't see that many swamp creatures at the current time of Halloween decorations. Well, after I saw Cellar Dweller, I was really impressed with his unique stature and his unique kind of framing. Obviously, we get a lot of towering animatronics every year from Halloween companies. Spirit released Creepy Towering Clown back in 2017. We've seen other things from Morris Costumes, and I think Morris Costumes is the biggest culprit, actually, of towering props such as Sweet Dreams, KG, Rotten Ringmaster. The list goes on. I could go here and all day long. We see a lot of towering animatronics, but honestly, I believe that the Cellar Dweller was one of the most unique that we ever saw. Now, my prediction is for 2022, I think we will see yet another towering animatronic similar to the framing of the Cellar Dweller. Now, I think the reason this is because obviously Morris likes doing towering props because they sell well, they're impressive, and they bring a nice wow factor to the owner or whoever's displaying the animatronic. But again, the more important reason is they sell well, and that's why we see so many towering props from Morris and from other companies every single year. Now, my opinion is that if Cellar Dweller sold well, which I think he did, I think Morris Costumes would release another towering animatronic around 7 feet tall, similar to that like we see every year, with the same kind of framing that we saw on Cellar Dweller. Now, obviously, he is very similar to other towering animatronics. However, he's unique in his own way because he features moving arms, which not all of them do, and he has a unique movement of how the arms move and the head goes back and forth without the body moving. Now, I think this is it's a really unique framing in how they built him, and he's very different than the framing of Sweet Dreams, KG, Rotten Ringmaster, Creepy Towering Clown, all the ones I just mentioned. He's different than those ones because he looks very different, not only the fact that he isn't a clown. That being said, I believe we will see yet another 7-foot towering animatronic from Morris Costumes this year, and I think it will look similar, possibly even in the same realm of zombies from Morris Costumes. Now, honestly, I don't believe that it would be a clown towering animatronic. I don't think we're going to see anything like that, which is why I believe it's possible we see something similar to the framing of Cellar Dweller, either as another zombie animatronic or possibly as a ghost/phantom, similar to the Wailing Phantom, just in the kind of frame that we saw in the Cellar Dweller. I think this would be really, really cool because I love the design of Cellar Dweller with his skinny legs, skinny body, skinny arms, and they move kind of up and down, but he was really big. I want to see something very similar to that, and I think we will if Cellar Dweller sold well, which honestly I believe he did, because people really enjoyed the look to him and the audio, and I think we'll see something very similar for 2022. Let's take a look at my next prediction, which also talks about possibly another towering animatronic coming for 2022. So my next prediction kind of goes along with the 10-foot towering Reaper that we saw from Morris last year. Obviously, the 10-foot Reaper was one of the highlights of Morris's lineup from last year. People were really impressed with it, and people really enjoyed it. And actually, people just started getting him in the mail because he only arrived like a couple weeks ago because of the shipment delays, but people have just started getting him in, and now I just started hearing again how much people are enjoying him when they're actually having them in their hands. Now, obviously, I don't think it's any secret that the 10-foot Reaper was created to sort of combat and compete with Home Depot's 12-foot skeleton and their Inferno skeleton that came out with this year that a lot of other companies have been trying to compete with. That's why the 10-foot Towering Reaper was born from Morris Costumes and why Seasonal Visions International worked on it and put it together for Morris Costumes. Now, obviously, the big hype in the whole Halloween world right now is big things. We saw the Home Depot 12-foot skeleton kind of create havoc in the community, making it sell out constantly. Everyone wants huge things. Everyone wants big things for their yard. And again, that's why we saw the 12-foot Towering Reaper. Now, obviously, we've seen some really, really good sales for the Towering Reaper because a lot of people have been able to pick him up, and a lot of people are enjoying him because he's in the same vein of a Home Depot 12-foot skeleton. Now, my prediction is that we will see yet another 10-foot towering animatronic from Morris this year, if not a reskin of the 10-foot Towering Reaper, possibly exactly the same frame, exactly the same kind of arm and build and everything, just with a different look to him. I think that Morris is going to want to put together another animatronic to compete with Home Depot's Inferno skeleton, because obviously, like I just said, everyone wants big things now, and that's what's selling currently. So I think Morris is going to put together yet another 10-foot thing to compete with Home Depot and create another animatronic that people really enjoy. Now, my prediction is that if we do see some sort of reskin of the 10-foot Reaper, maybe it would be a witch. I have a feeling that it's possible we could see a witch reskin of the 10-foot Reaper. And the reason I say this is because if you actually didn't know, Party City / Halloween City put together a big towering witch that had digital eyes this year. And I think maybe it's possible we'll see the 10-foot Towering Reaper reskin this year and look very, very similar to the Party City Halloween witch that we saw, the big towering witch they have. I think it's possible we see something similar to that. If not, some sort of ghoul reskin, maybe similar to Cellar Dweller. Either way, I really believe we're going to see a new version or a new reskin of Morris's 10-foot Reaper from last year this year to help compete with Home Depot and their Inferno skeleton, and I definitely think that's possible because big animatronics are all the hype in the Halloween world currently. Let's take a look at my next Morris Costumes 2022 prediction. So I'm not going to lie, this next prediction is a little bit strange and it might be a little bit of a stretch and a little bit too outlandish, but I wanted to do it because I maybe could see this happening, and that is a lunging clown for the Morris Costumes 2021 season. Obviously, last year we saw the lunging Reaper make a return with digital eyes, and we saw the lunging witch come out also with digital eyes. So honestly, Morris has had a history of lunging animatronics. They always like them. SVI also puts a lot of lunging stuff together, and now we're seeing a lot of lunging animatronics mismatched with digital eyes. My prediction is we did not see any clowns last year, which was a big thumbs up. A lot of people were really happy about that we saw no clowns. But I have a feeling this year we'll see at least one, and I don't think it'll be a lot of clowns, but I have a feeling we'll see maybe one animatronic. And my prediction is that it will be a lunging clown because we saw 2 lunging props last year. Morris always has at least 1 lunging prop in their lineup, and this year I think it's going to be a clown. Now the question is, would the clown feature digital eyes? Maybe, maybe not. I honestly don't know. I could see it featuring digital eyes. I could see it not featuring digital eyes. I think it could really go either way. But I have a feeling we will see a return of clown animatronics at the Expo and at Morris this year. But I don't think it'll be nearly as much as it was in previous years. I think if anything, it'll be 1 or 2. And if it is 1, maybe it would be a lunging prop and not anything like a big guy, kind of like a Sweet Dreams or a towering prop, or even something like the Tug of War clowns. I think it would be something kind of just 6 foot tall, regular life size, nothing special about it other than a launching motion and possibly a moving mouth and digital eyes. But I have a feeling that we would see something like that if a clown was to return at Morris Costumes this year. I think it would be lunging. As for the design of it, I think it would be sort of basic, maybe just very, very similar to Big Top Clown that Walmart had. Maybe something similar to that, just in a lunging kind of position and then actually lunge forward. I think I could see Morris doing something like that for this year because it's a clown that obviously they sell well. Clowns sell well, and I think a lunging clown, I could see them doing something similar, and I have a feeling SVI would be the one to manufacture it because SVI does a lot of that stuff opposed to Techie, which Techie worked with Morris last year, but I don't see Techie doing something similar to that. Maybe they would. Maybe we would get a lunging clown from Techie, but honestly, not really sure. I think it could go either way. But I do predict that we'll see some sort of clown animatronic, and if we do, it could be a lunging clown. Kind of not super unique, not super basic, just something that a filler animatronic thrown in the lineup that's just something they released, and that is my another prediction I have for this year. Let's take a look at my next Morris Costumes 2021 Halloween season prediction. So my final Morris Costumes 2021 prediction for right now is one that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy and a lot of people also believe and hope for, and that is another witch animatronic. Now, obviously, people have been wanting to see more witches for a long time, along with the debate that people have wanted to see more scarecrows. And last year at Morris, we saw the Soothsayer Witch, one of the most unique witches we have seen in any recent year from any Halloween company. A lot of people liked her. She's a really unique one. And we saw the Lunging Witch that featured digital eyes, which was not really unique, but it was another witch animatronic. Now, I have a feeling that we're going to see another witch from Morris because I think after last year, I think Morris is listening to the fans. They're releasing stuff that the fans want, that they know will sell well. And obviously, people have been wanting witches, and that's why they gave us Soothsayer. And I think we're going to get another witch this year, possibly very similar to the look Soothsayer had. Now, obviously, she had a crystal ball. She was meant to be a sort of fortune teller witch, similar to Miss Fortune Teller from Spirit Halloween 2013. And I think it's possible we do see something similar to that, maybe another fortune teller from Morris for 2022. Maybe we would see something similar to a witch in a box, similar to the Miss Fortune Teller from Spirit. Maybe just a standing witch like Soothsayer was. But I think we almost have a guarantee to see another witch from Morris this year because they sell well. People really want to see them. And I think it would be something that Morris wants to do because they know it's going to sell well. Now, maybe it would have digital eyes. Obviously, Morris has loved doing digital eyes in recent years, and Soothsayer featured digital eyes, and the Lunging Witch did. So I think it's possible we see yet another witch animatronic featuring digital eyes, which I think would be kind of cool as long as it's a unique idea. I'm sorry. I think it would be really cool to see yet another witch with digital eyes, and I think there's a lot you can do with it. I would love to see a witch with a broomstick because they don't really do a lot like that. Maybe some sort of illusion where the witch is actually floating in the air, similar to the Spirit Halloween's 2009 Flying Witch. I think that would be really cool if you hung her up and she'd look like she was flying on a broom. Maybe she'd have mouth movement. She'd maybe kind of look like she's flying side to side. I think there's a lot of really cool witch ideas that they have never even touched on in any Halloween company, and I think we will see at least one witch from Morris this year, maybe even two, but I think we'll definitely see at least one because they sell well. It's a classic Halloween idea, and the old school fans of Halloween always will buy witches, so I think Morris will have their eye on that along with SVI because they'll probably be manufacturing a witch, and I definitely predict a witch animatronic in our future for the Morris Costumes 2022 season. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up my predictions for Morris Costumes 2021, their Halloween season and their animatronics. Let me know in the comments below, do you agree with any of my predictions? Do you have your own predictions? Because I will be sure to take a look at yours and tell you if I agree or if I disagree. Just let me know by writing a comment down below. I'm really excited to see Morris's lineup at the Party Expo at January this year, just over a month and a half away, and I'm very interested. Now, I will have way more Halloween and Party Expo / Morris Costumes discussion videos leading up to that January date of the Party Expo. I'll be talking a lot more about Morris Costumes. I'll be talking a lot more about the Halloween Party Expo in a whole and the other companies that are going to be there leading up to January when the event is taking place. So keep an eye out if you're a fan of the Halloween and Party Expo. Ladies and gentlemen, remember as always, for everything scary, I'm GMHaunts. I'll see you guys later for more Halloween and Party Expo / Morris Costumes 2022 videos. Goodbye.